Hey guys, this is Rafael from Shiloh Relics.com. I hope you're all doing well. I have a good wish for each one of you guys every day. Again, I want to say thank you because you have shared these videos, you've watched these videos, you've told people about them, and I'm very thankful. Today we're going to talk about a artillery shell that is very easily overlooked because most people assume that it is from after the Civil War. One of the most heavily used projectiles during the Civil War was patented by Andrew Hotchkiss in 1855. Hotchkiss had a design that is iron on the top, iron on the bottom, and in the middle they have a lead band. And that lead band is known as a sabot or a sabot. What that was for was to take the rifling of the cannon after the initial cannon blast goes. It helps it spin, it helps it be more accurate, and it helps it go further. Hotchkiss actually made these shells in multiple pieces. There's the nose section, there's a base cup, and all this backside is literally just a cup that is put onto it and held in place by that lead band that's poured onto it at the end. It goes around a little ridge on the inside of it to try to hold everything together. It didn't always hold together. It was designed to hold together until the shell exploded. We'll get to that in a minute. But a lot of times that base cup would fly off and do its own damage flying away. That is a piece that you can find, those base cups off of the different Hotchkiss shells, you can still find for under 20, 30 bucks. So it's a great piece to pick up if you want a Hotchkiss shell and you can't afford the whole thing. Been there, done that. I started out with just a base cup myself. The Hotchkiss shells, there's a progression of them. And it's a neat thing to collect because there's a lot of variety to them. They were patented in 1855. Andrew died in 1858, and his brother Benjamin took over and actually made it the impressive battle piece that we know from the Civil War. So thank you, Benjamin. Hope you're resting easy. There are several different versions. Most of the versions early in the war will have more pointed noses, use regular fuses, but they had a problem. The problem with the early ones was that when that cannon blast, it couldn't get, unless you were using a percussion fuse, meaning that it would explode when it hit something. If you're using a time fuse like this, that burned down like a wick, if you were trying to use that, they couldn't get the flame from the back up to the front in time to light that fuse. So, see these grooves that go down the body of the piece? Those are called flame grooves. And they were to do just what you think. They were designed to get the flame from the back to the front. So, you know the early productions compared to the later productions. Early productions, smooth sides. Later production, flame grooves. The problem that they had, though, they would tumble and they would not always hit to make that percussion fuse go off. Or that fuse wouldn't light, and the time fuse wouldn't light, and it wouldn't explode. So what they came up with was this. This one has a two fuse system in one. They use that standard percussion Hotchkiss fuse in the middle of it, the hole that's open here. That's where the percussion fuse would have went. And that was, if it hit straight on, boom. As a backup, they add a 14-second Wright time fuse. And that time fuse that they put on these, you would punch it, basically take a knife, punch at the time that you wanted, and that, in theory, if the flame made it up and lit the fuse, it would explode. If you punched it for 5 seconds, it would explode after 5 seconds of burn time. So you had two chances of it working. Most all of these that you encounter are post-war. This is the only version that saw Civil War service. Didn't see a lot of service. It was used at the Battle of Petersburg, the Siege of Petersburg. which was right at the end of the war. And you'll see some of them that were used in Bentonville, which is the last, that's where they surrendered, was Bentonville, North Carolina. So most of the ones you see are like this one. They're non-excavated condition, meaning that they came out of an armory or just army surplus, weren't excavated out of the field. That's why you see them most of the time in nice shape. There's a quick way to tell this one from the post-war one. And I'm sorry, Mom, but this is the way we used to remember it. The war date one has the rounded bottom, like that. It will not stand up. You can try it, but it won't stand up. The post-war ones are flat on the bottom. So the way I used to remember that was flat, you're effed, because it's post-war and it won't bring as much. So stay away and don't spend as much money on it. So, sorry, Mom. I was a kid once. This one's pretty. It's non-dug. It's got the original Sabot on it. You can even see the inspector's initials that approved it. Check this out. JHS stamped into the lead. So it was military approved. Most of the time they're in non-excavated condition like this. They're a desirable shell. They're very well made. And it's interesting, this fuse combination they used in Petersburg and they used in Bentonville, but they didn't get it patented until December 24th, 1867. So they realized the necessity of it overrode the need to patent it. They got it into the field to help those soldiers. And the Hotchkiss shell is one of the shells that made the Union artillery so deadly. And this was one of their perfected models. They went through a lot of changes, but this is the one that they ended the war with. So go on to ShilohRelics.com, check these out. They're a 3-inch, meaning they were going to be fired from a 3-inch bore cannon. So go on there, check it out. Got a lot of artillery shells right now. I buy every one I can get because I like them. I hope that you guys are safe. With the kids going back to school, I know so many of the parents are frustrated, but I've got a lot of friends that are teachers. I've got a lot of friends. My daughter is a teacher at Head Start. And remember, as frustrated as you are with the circumstances that are going on, at least you're not a teacher. They have it rough because they don't know what to do. They're trying. And people were like, well, they started for a week and then they sent them home. They were trying to do something. And you know that old saying, even if it's wrong, try something. They're trying, and they're not doing anything intentionally to make your life rougher. They're trying to protect your children, and they're trying to help your children, and they're trying to make things better. Always be kind to those people that are trying to make things better. There's so many people out there that's trying to screw your life up from top to bottom, from left to right, from north to south. A teacher is usually not one of them. They are good people. They don't get into it for the money. They get into it to help folks. Just like policemen. You're never going to get rich being an honest policeman, and you're never going to get rich being an honest teacher monetarily. But they're in it because they care about people. So treat them with respect. Bear with them because they're ready for May 1st and summer break already, just like you are. Hang with them. I love y'all. I'll catch you next time.